Sorry, hold on. I'm just getting up chat. Can you guys hear me from this distance? And if you can't hear me, how loud is it? Is it too loud? Faint. All right. Okay. Is that better? I'm going to be about this far away from the mic. Can you guys hear me from here? All right. I'm just going to assume you guys can hear me, and we're going to go for it. That's what we got. All right. So, what I'm doing today is um, over the break, I had this B1 battle droid in my classroom, and it fell and broke when nobody was there. I have my suspicions, but from what I know, nobody was there. This is a full-size B1 battle droid, um, and it's about 6'4", a little bit shorter than me. But I'm gonna try and attempt to fix the head because I had the bodies at school. So this is the only thing that really broke besides like a button on the chest, and I'll fix the button. But we're gonna attempt to fix it. So this is gonna be the easy part right here. My only concern is it might delaminate it a little bit, but I might be able to glue along the perimeter and not worry about the center too much. But what I'm mostly worried about is these things that go on the back. They broke clean off. Okay, so there's supposed to be a little like a peg right here, and there's supposed to be a hole right here, and they're supposed to enter together. They broke clean off, and so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to glue this, and I got this stuff called PLA gloop. And if you go plastic on plastic or PLA on PLA, then it sorry, I'm still a little sick from the break. It basically chemically bonds it, so it melts the top layer of the plastic and then fuses it together and then dries. And so it's better than glue because glue just kind of holds the two pieces together. This is bonding the two pieces together. Does that make sense? So I'm doing that first. Need to get that going. And then I'm probably going to put some switch stuff together. And then the last little bit, I'm probably just going to start masking off my Spider-Man helmet so that I can spray paint it. So that's the plan. If you guys have any other suggestions of what I can do, I'll be reading chat, so let me know. I'm going to get chat a little bit closer to my screen so I can see. So you're talking about solder welding. I do have a solder. I don't know what you go solderer. The thing that I can't use that for is I don't want to damage the seam too much, and then also spray paint's on here already, and so I'm a little bit concerned that a solder will ruin that paint, and I'll have to reapply. Because what I did, I mean, this is multiple layers of paint. I don't know if you can see that here. This is multiple layers of paint. I went over with a kind of a silver first, And then where right here I did some battle damage right there. I put some toothpaste, and then I spray paint with, I think it's khaki camo, and then I went over with the black out of the airbrush to kind of do the low lights. And so it's multiple layers of paint, and so I can't just solder it together and then repaint that one area because I don't think I can be that precise. So I'm going to try this first. If that doesn't work, we'll have to take some additional steps. Yeah, I agree. The gloop is a better option. If you guys are interested in a painting tutorial, I like painting, and I can teach you guys how to do some pretty nice weathering if you want. So if you want to see that kind of video, just let me know in the chat. I have one already, but I can make a better one now that I've kind of started doing better at making videos. So all this gloop is, let's get which one it is. All gloop really looks like is kind of like that rubber cement. Just got to make sure you get the right one in the right place. Alright, so that one's not it. This one. This one. Okay, so I'm going to try and line up the seams as best I can. Then I'm going to put a bunch of gloop right there. Just kind of hold it for a second. Wait till it dries. If you can kind of, I'm not going to glue this together, but with gloop, if you can kind of just put it together and then like kind of friction weld it, it does work pretty well. It works well anyways, but if you can do that, it works really well. This cost for the whole thing, I kept a chart. It's on my computer somewhere, but I think it was roughly like $150 of filament. As you go up, so the legs are the most dense in infill. As you go up the body, you want to make it lighter, and so for like the body, what I did is I made it lightning infill, and then I drilled a hole where you wouldn't see, where it's going to be glued anyways, and I sprayed a bunch of expanding foam inside of it to kind of take up the space and add strength. But that's how I kind of saved filament from the whole thing. If you were to go 15% on everything, it probably would have taken way longer. All right, let's do it. Yeah, my plan is to have this go with me to conventions and booths and kind of be like the eye catchers and have this draw people in. So it is my advertising. So it was worth the money if it works, you know, if it brings somebody in, worth it. All right, just like that. And now we just need to hold it for a second and make sure that it bonds. I wasn't expecting this to break, and so the infill on these that's really light. There's not a whole lot to it, and that's probably why it broke so easy. Like when it fell, I wasn't expecting it to fall. So maybe next time what I'll do is I'll put a blocker in there, and I'll increase the infill on one side more so than the bottom of it. But let's see if this holds. If it doesn't, we'll have to do something else, but we'll see. Oh, I sell these droids for like $1,000. This isn't the first one I made. This is just one that I have in my classroom for fun. Well, this is the first one I made, but I've made more than this one. So you can sell droids for quite a bit. You can customize them, make them look completely different, unique, whatever you want to do. But a lot of people collect Star Wars stuff, and I would say the B1 Battle Droid is probably one of the most iconic droids from the prequels. Prequels. Yeah, it is. It is a really good profit. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like $150 to $200 in filament, and then you got to spray paint it. We have to sand it. You have to glue it all together. It's time consuming. So, I mean, it's a hobby for me, but if you're someone who solely sells 3D prints and things like that, it's really time consuming. So that might scare away a couple people. from like sanding it and everything. I'm gonna put a dab right there. It's not holding. And the good thing with this is um, it's battle damaged, so it's supposed to kind of look a little rough. So that's a positive, I guess, of stuff breaking. I don't know. Just adds to the battle damage. So we're just holding this in place for a second. A combination of sites. I do have the Nico Industries. I do buy some stuff from DOD. Hex 3D is good. I like Yosh Studios. Yosh Studios does some pretty high quality stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm actually looking for another Patreon or some other stuff to buy for certain conventions. So if you know of any other good websites, I'd love to hear them, or any other good Patreons. I've seen Mystery Makers around. I have no clue about them. It's starting to kind of melt and hold together. We just gotta hold it. Yeah, no, if you can, I do like Yosh Studios. Yosh is a good site. No, if you can make good Star Wars stuff and make it look high quality, people will gladly pay for it. Um, on my YouTube, there is a Mandalorian helmet I do. I like doing Mandalorian helmets. They're pretty fun. But it's a heavy Mando. It's Paz Vizsla from the Mandalorian series, the big blue guy. I sold that one for 150. I did some paint job on it and stuff. But if you can make good Star Wars stuff, people will buy that and they will eat it up. All right, it's starting to kind of harden up a little bit more. All right, we'll see if that stays. I don't know if it will. Yeah, people love helmets. The tricky part with helmets is visors. I need to get better at doing visors. I'm not a fan of doing it either, just because it takes time. All right, I think it goes about right there. Yeah, this one's a little bit more of a cleaner break right along the inside of it. And I can kind of catch it a little bit of where it's supposed to be. So that will be good. A little bit more surface area. Sweet, 20 plus helmets. Yeah, I have a lot of wall space. I have a lot up here. I kind of want to do a little helmet rack. I think that'd look cool. Yeah, the vacuum forming with the visor bucks, that looks pretty cool. Vacuum formers are expensive, and I really don't want to make one myself. I've seen people make them with the vacuum formers. Galactic Armorer or Galactic Armory, they do it with bucks, um, and it's better. But I just don't know if I have space or the money for a vacuum forming machine. Do you got the Nico Industries Power Ranger helmets? Is that the one? Are those the ones you make? So I think what happened. So the neck on this thing, it's articulated. Um, so the neck on this thing's a little bit long, and I think what happened is it probably loosened up because they don't turn the heaters on when no one's in the building, And so I think what happened is maybe it got a little bit colder, and I'm thinking maybe it contracted the metal because their bolts hold it together. There is bolts that hold stuff together, bolts and nuts. So I think maybe it loosened up a little bit, and then it went off balance and the head came forward or something. I'm thinking something like that had to happen. I hope no one went in there and just was screwing with it, but you never know. All right, still a little wonky, but they're on there. I don't. So the way this goes, don't want to drop it, is like that. Kind of fits in, but it's pretty sweet. I do like the B1 battle droid look. Probably is my largest 3D print to date, or one of my largest. Yeah, it was a fun build. It took about 2 weeks of just straight printing. I only had one X1 at that time. I only had one machine at that time, and I did it on that one machine, and it handled it in about 2 weeks. And that wasn't like back to back to back to back to back, but it was pretty consistent. So I'm thinking we're gonna go for it. I don't want to put the glue or the gloop anywhere that I had the original glue, because that's where I think it delaminated on the infill. And I can explain what that means in a second if you want me to. But I'm going to just absolutely cover this in gloop. And you just press and hold. And if some comes out of the seams, that's fine. Adds to the look, I guess. So what are you guys printing right now? Anything? Just kind of hold it here for a second. That's what it do. Is that Red Dead Redemption 2? Like make something from Red Dead? The cool thing with this kind of paint job, I gave it with like the silver underpaint, undercoat, is any little nick or scratch where there would already be natural wear. It just, so like right here where it got like nicked. Oh, I I saw Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, there is an entire Facebook page dedicated to building R2D2. People go all out for that. That would be kind of cool. But if you want to go look, you can go look, and there's a full page dedicated to people building that. Some people build them out of like aluminum. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. What I want to make is there's files for a Droidica. I don't know how big that would be, but that'd be cool to make as a Droidica. Or if you've seen Rogue One, K2SO, it's about 7 feet tall. That would be a pretty cool droid to make too. Just holding it in place for a second longer, and then I'll probably move on to something else. But I'm currently trying to figure out some more ideas of stuff that I can sell at a convention. Um, Star Wars, like I said, I'm gonna make more Star Wars stuff, some more helmets. Um, just trying to think of like little items that I can 3D print quickly and take there. It's a retro gaming convention is what it's called, but people bring all sorts of stuff and sell it there. So I'm just trying to think of stuff that's unique that you're not going to see where. I don't want to make a bunch of dragons because whatever 3D printing booth is going to be there is going to have dragons. I do have a couple, but I'm not going to mass produce dragons and sell them. I want to have completely unique stuff. Um, and one of my goals is to try to get people to see what I can do and then maybe get commissions. That's like my plan. I want to sell some stuff, but I also want to get some commissions. So if you guys have any ideas of what I should make for this convention, let me know. I think that's on pretty good. That's what it looks like. The droid head. I think it came together pretty good. Like I said, this was the most damaged part. On the body itself, there is a little button, a little sensor on the torso that got pushed in when it fell. And then one of the shoulder covers popped off and snapped off, but I'm going to have to just fix that at school. That wouldn't be too bad. I thought this was going to take a lot more time, but it's actually holding up pretty good. I'm kind of still nervous about these. Maybe what I'll have to do, I don't know if you guys ever seen how they fix cement where they basically put some, like if it's chipped off of a step, a corner, they'll drill a hole and they'll put rebar, like a little nub, and then they'll put their framing around, then put cement in to kind of hold it. Maybe I should print off some pegs or something and glue them in place and then put these on for some more support. I don't know. We'll see if they hold. If they hold, great. If they don't, I'll do that. But I think they're good for right now, for what it is. Yeah, it's still drying, but looks good. All right. So we're just going to kind of, I don't want to put that and have it. Maybe I do. Maybe that just adds more weight. Maybe I'll put this right there. That looks better that way. Now I'm just going to start putting together these Switch Rolodexes for this convention. I am going to sell some Rolodexes. I think those will do good. So got a little room, so we're gonna have to make some adjustments here. All right, we kind of move that right there. Kind of leave it there. All right, so we got these Rolodexes. I got everything printed off for them. With the blue color scheme, I usually put red. So that's what we're going to be doing. I do have a yellow one here left over. I'm going to take these blue and put them on the yellow. I don't know how it's going to look. We'll see. I don't even know if I have enough drums. This was just kind of leftover parts from the last time I did something, so I have it. I do sell these Rolodexes, so they're pretty cool. If you want to buy one, let me know. I'll tell you where to get them. Holds about 12 games in a pretty compact area. Playing Marvel Rivals tonight? Yeah, probably. What time is it? 7:57. Yeah, I'll probably get on in like, I don't know, 20 minutes. I'll get on after I get done assembling these. That's going to be the last thing I do tonight, is assemble these. I just wanted to get on and kind of chit-chat and put stuff together. Do you know the Muffin Man? If you've been here in the stream for a second, feel free to like this live stream. I kind of want to be live streaming a little bit more. I'll get some better plans together of what I can do live. And if you like it, click the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. That's my shelf of filament. I don't know. I got a couple. When I 3D printed a full-size goat for a commission for somebody, they were using it as a trophy. I had a bunch of yellow and orange, probably a lot of orange, because every bulk pack you order comes with like 2 rolls of orange, because I don't think anybody uses it, so they just give it out. But I had probably like 8 rolls of orange filament, and that goat took all of them, and I was happy to get rid of it. But I got a few rolls I have. Nice thing with 3D printing is, if you make large things, it doesn't really matter the color of the filament, as long as it's the same filament that you're using throughout the entire thing. You're gonna paint over it, so it doesn't need to be the color you need exactly, unless you're doing a multicolor print on a small AMS unit. So it just looks like that. But if you're doing something big, then you can just paint it, which is nice. So this is a really easy print to put together too. The most time consuming part of it is just making sure you're putting these on the right direction and then putting on each individual one. That's the most time consuming part of it. Everything else fairly simple and straightforward. is what an arrowhead? I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, yes, it is arrowhead water. I didn't read water. I just was like, is arrowhead? Yes, it is. Good to have you back. What other color schemes would look good for Nintendo Switch cartridge holders? So this one is like a royal blue, red, and gray. What colors do you think would look good? Or that would look Nintendo-y? I haven't made the Nico Power Ranger helmets. They look good though. I don't know if I don't think I was ever really into Power Rangers, but they look decent. Are they pre-cut to X1C size, or are they pre-cut, or do you have to do your own cuts? Brown and yellow for Pikachu. You think? So what would you make brown? Pre-cut. They're pre-cut? I didn't know that. Would you make like the sides brown, or would you make like the actual holders brown? You can size it to your head. Yeah. Do you use Armor Smith to size your prints? Or do you just kind of guess and check? Because I have never used Armor Smith, but I am curious if it's any good. Holder brown, sides yellow. That might look good. I don't know. Free sizing heads. From where? I guess I've never really looked for sizing heads. It's expensive unless I made lots of helmets. Oh, Armor Smith? Yeah, probably. I don't know. I did look into like a lifetime license to Luban, the thing that makes you can like blow up your 3D prints and it makes the cuts for you. I used that on one print, the goat statue that I was making, the full-size goat statue. And it was so easy to use and so nice, but a license is about like $400, but you get it forever. And I guess if you made enough life-size statues and you could sell them, it would pay for itself. But, you know, right now that's a large upfront cost. Yeah, look them up for me and throw it in chat. Or you can just give me the name and I'll look it up in a little while. So like I said, I'm just going to put these together. And then I'm probably going to go play some Marvel Rivals. Speaking of Marvel Rivals, Yosh Studios, that's a 3D artist if you guys don't know. He has made some pretty sweet Marvel Rival helmets. I made a Magneto. I'm in the process of making a Star-Lord. But he just released like Moon Knight, Hawkeye, and everybody else. Like the Moon Knight armor is full armor, head to toe, Moon Knight. So it's pretty sweet. I'll be right back. Purple, yellow, and white for LSU. All right, we're back. Had to blow my nose. Still got that cold. Nico just brought out the Captain America helmet. I just downloaded it today. That's pretty sweet. What I need is an original Captain America shield. Not the red Hulk hand holding the Captain America shield. I want a Captain America shield to make. Like a high quality one. I know there's some mediocre files, but that simply won't do anymore. Once you start downloading like the premium files, they're just so much nicer to use and work with. I don't think I could ever go back to free files. For like free files for like helmets and stuff. So the Nico Captain America helmet is free? That's what you're saying? What is the cost for a 3D printed monitorizer? Like, what do you mean? Like, just a box for your monitor to sit on to be taller? Or are you talking like an arm? Like Calvin has? Oh, the sizing heads. Yeah, the sizing head is different, you know? Those are just, that's like a utility piece. Those are usually fine because they don't need to look, you know, super decent. You don't need to have a million polygons or triangles to kind of in that mesh to make it smooth. A helmet, you got to have a, you know, a smoother surface because if you get a bad model that's low poly, then you're going to be sanding a lot. That's what I'm getting at. But like a utility piece, something that's just used as a tool, I don't mind having that be free. All right, let's get these on. Unarmed, just the thing to make. I don't know. I don't think it'd be that expensive to make. You'd probably want a different type of filament than PLA. You'd probably want like a PETG or I don't know, PLA plus, maybe a carbon fiber PLA, something like that. To if you're gonna have something be under a sustained load, so like if it's holding something, you need something a little bit more rigid than PLA because over time it will bend. I remember when I first started 3D printing, I didn't know that, and so I would 3D print these microphone holders. I gave Calvin one. I don't know if he still has it, but he probably threw it away. If you kept your headphones on there too long, it would kind of sag down and just over time and break. So you'd probably want to use something of a little bit more strength, probably a PETG, but I don't think it'd be that expensive for a monitor riser so that you could slide your keyboard underneath. That wouldn't be too bad at all. Most people, what they do is they charge for filament, and then they also charge for time on the machine. That's probably where the biggest cost is going to be from, is time on the machine. Filament cost probably wouldn't be that much. I don't know though. But yeah, fully printing it might take some time. So you might want to look into, if you were looking for something like that, you might just want to go buy one in store and see if, it'd probably save you money. Try them out. We're great. Most people like Jesse. Yeah, I need to try them out. I'll have to give them a look. I actually think I saw the Uncle Jesse video. I'll have to give it a look though. So if you've been in the stream for a while, make sure you smash that like button. I do want to be doing more live streams. What would you guys be interested in during the live streams? Are you mostly coming just to hang out, or do you want to see like? Do you want to? I could build a full-on helmet on a live stream if you're interested. I did watch all the previews for Season 1 Marvel Rivals. I think the Fantastic Four look pretty good. So again, what would you guys like to see in these live streams? I'm not going to spray paint in here, but I'd airbrush in here. Sanding, I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Kind of like that toothpaste painting. I could do that. Show you how to do that weathering technique. Slicer setups. Whatever. What's up, Jay? Gosh. More story times. The best story is the banana story from when I was a cop. That's the best story I got. It's a good one though. Oh, I have a better one, an even better one. I forgot about this until recently. I just remembered it. Have I been? I've been sick. Got a random cold. But other than that, pretty decent. Alright. If you guys want to hear this story, spam story in the chat. I need more than just nice little lady or Taylor. spamming story time. I need like there's 7 of you right now. Spam story time in the chat, and I will tell you this very funny story. It's an embarrassing story on my part. It's pretty good. All right, I'll tell this story, and then I'm probably gonna hop off and play some Marvel Rivals, because I got nothing else besides masking the Spider-Man helmet. But I don't know if I really want to do that right now. Okay, so this happened. I want to say it was like pre-pandemic, so like 2019. I don't think, because I'm trying to remember, since I'm a high school teacher, like when the pandemic was happening, and then like a year after, they wore masks, and so I don't think this. I can see the kid's face. I don't think he had a mask on to begin with. So we're in class and we're playing a game, and there's a tie, and so in my classroom, what I do to break the tie is I say, "All right, you two rock paper scissors. So let's see who wins." And I'm right there. Everyone's watching. These 2 kids do rock paper scissors shoot. So rock paper scissors shoot, and they throw. And I look at one kid's hand, and I say, "All right, paper." I look at the other kid's hand, and I say, "Oh, what is that? That's not rock, paper, or scissors." And I didn't notice this until this point, but he only had a pinky and a thumb. And so I don't know how I played it off, but I played it off like, oh, but yeah, I guess that's the best story time I got is I told a kid with a pinky and a thumb on his hand that's not the correct way to play rock paper scissors. And if you're just jumping in, I saw that go from 6 to 7. You just came in at a very interesting time. I would have liked to see it in person too, not live it and do it in person. What did it mean? I can't remember. And honestly, I don't even think I was the game. I just said, "Oh," and I think I honestly ended the game. I don't think I even got any information from anybody. It's just I was trying to play it off. I remember that randomly. I think like 2 days ago, I was like, "Oh, I was shocked by what's the guy's name from The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville? Stavi. I was yeah. Oh man, that was bad. That was bad. So, it is a good story. That's the story I got today. I mean, I could think of more. There's some other good ones. But we'll have to kind of space them out so I don't run out of stories. There's always good stories. That would be a good idea. Just keep a list. That's not a bad one. There's a lot of good stories from being a police officer for a little bit to a teacher. I've got stories. I've got stories. So, I think we're done here. Got the Switch cartridges together. Got the Battle Droid head fixed. Looks good. I'm kind of tempted now that I have this here. I kind of want to build another one. Maybe not like a Battle Droid. Maybe like a little pit droid or something like that. But that sounds fun. Again, it's a big project, but sometimes big projects are fun to do. So I'm gonna leave this stream here. I appreciate you guys tuning in for a little bit of what I had. I'm gonna try and get a more consistent live stream schedule, maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays for a couple hours. Maybe on the weekends if that's better. We'll see. I'll see what works for you guys, but Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Make sure you give a thumbs up on this stream. Spam hearts, whatever you got to do. I appreciate you guys chatting. Makes the time go quick, and it makes it a little bit more bearable to kind of just sit here and work on 3D prints, so I'm not just in here by myself. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. I'll get some more stuff for Thursday, so stay tuned. Have a good night, everybody.